Howdy cowboys and cowgirls, I'm Cowboy Jack and today I'm really excited. We're here at the Learning Zoo in the Woodlands, Texas, and we're gonna get to see, meet, touch, and learn about all kinds of really cool animals. Maybe like some porcupines, some prairie dogs, a bull snake, all kinds of stuff. I'm not even sure what zookeeper Drew has in here. Come on, let's go inside and check it out. Boy, I just love learning about animals, and I really like it somewhere like this where we can get up close and personal with them and see what they're like in their natural habitat. All right, guys, are you ready? Oh, wow. Oh, hey, Zookeeper Drew.
Hey, Cowboy Jack, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today.
Great.
Hey,
Welcome
you know
back.
what? We've been here once before, haven't we?
Yeah, you have.
Well, this is awesome. Thanks for having us back.
Absolutely.
I mean, the second we walk in the door, we're just surrounded by all kinds of animals. So you have like a bunch of reptiles in here?
We do. We have lizards, we have snakes and tortoises and frogs.
Wow, look at this guy here. He's looking at me, but his eyes are moving all around the place. That's a veiled chameleon?
Mm-hmm. Her name is Rapunzel, and her eyes can look in two directions at once, so she can see if there's any bugs in the tree with her, or if anything's going to try and grab her.
Boy, I just love those eyes. She moves them all around. But hey, I heard you had a porcupine here.
That's right, we have two porcupines.
Two porcupines?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of porcupines?
They are called African crested porcupines because they have a big mohawk on top of their heads.
That is so cool. Can we meet them?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go check them out.
All right, follow me.
There's literally animals everywhere you look. This is so cool.
Franklin, come on out. He is hanging out in there with our tortoises. There he is. Franklin.
Oh, wow, look at that little guy.
Franklin is a baby African crested porcupine. He's only 2 months old, and he loves attention, just like any little baby.
Wow. Now he's got these spines on his back, and those could be dangerous, right?
They could be. They're pretty sharp, and he uses those to protect himself from animals that want to eat him. So those quills, those spines on his back, are really sharp, and they can stand up when he's nervous or when he thinks he's in trouble, and they'll protect him if anything tries to attack him. And he is having a great time playing with that
Franklin,
ball.
how's it going, buddy?
He's still
Wow.
a baby. He's getting bigger every day. Franklin, station. Target. So what I'm doing is teaching him to touch his nose to the end of that ball, and then when he hears that click sound, he gets a treat.
That is so neat.
And that helps us move him around because he is hard to pick up.
I bet he is hard to pick up with all those little spines.
Good job, buddy.
Wow, and he's holding it with his two hands. He really likes that.
Mm-hmm. Porcupines love eating roots like sweet potatoes and carrots. They like corn and fruit, and sometimes they even eat leaves.
Well, I've got to be honest, I've never seen a porcupine out in the wild, but I know we have them here in Texas.
We do.
But they're not this kind.
No, so the ones we have here in Texas live in trees, and they love to climb and eat leaves and bark, but they still have those sharp quills to protect themselves.
Yeah, the only ones I've ever heard of or known people that have encountered them have been in the top of cedar bushes way out in West Texas.
That's right, we actually don't have them here in this part of Texas, but you can find them in a lot of other places. And these porcupines live in Africa, and they love to dig.
Hey, buddy.
They live underground. They dig burrows for themselves where it's cool during the day and warm at night.
Hey, Franklin. Boy, I just love this guy. He's got these really cool whiskers, kind of just like a cat or a dog.
Exactly. They do the same thing as a cat's whiskers, too. They help him feel what's around his face. Oh, I think he found an acorn to eat. So, Cowboy Jack, do you know what a porcupine's quills are made out of?
I don't.
They're hair, just like the hair you and I have, but each hair is long and stiff and kind of sharp, but when he gets nervous, they'll stand up just like a cat's tail puffs out.
Okay.
And that's what makes them spiky.
Well, and I guess that's pretty cool that they're like hair, so that way if he actually has to use one of them, he gets to grow a new one, right?
Exactly. If it pokes a predator like a leopard or a lion in Africa, it will stick into their face or their paw and pull out of his skin, just like you could pull a hair out of our head, and then he'll grow a new one.
Wow. Hey, could I try giving him a treat?
Sure.
Let's see.
Here's a little bit of sweet potato. You can just hold that out and he'll come
Franklin,
take it.
Come right here, buddy. Come here, bud.
Porcupines don't have very good eyesight though, so you need to make sure he can smell it.
I was just trying to make sure the kiddos at home got to see him real close. Look at that. Hey, buddy.
And if you look closely, he's got really big buck teeth at the front of his mouth that he uses to chew because he's a rodent, just like a rat or a mouse or a hamster.
I had no idea that porcupines were in the rodent family. That's really cool.
Yep, and those teeth never stop growing. So he'll use them to chew on things like wood and roots and other tough foods to make sure that he can eat them. And the teeth keep growing to replace what gets worn down.
Well, Zookeeper Drew, I think Franklin here really likes me. He's exploring my boots and sniffing around. I'm like his little jungle gym today.
He's not a very good climber, but he loves climbing on people's feet.
Well, now, what is he going to look like when he gets full grown?
Well, he's going to look a lot like this, but he's going to be much bigger.
Okay.
Porcupines are one of the biggest rodents in the world. So would you like to see what he's going to look like in a couple years?
Yeah, guys, you want to see that? That'd be really cool.
All right. Well, let's go meet Willow.
All right. Wow, guys, so here we are back here in Willow's enclosure, and she's a full-grown African porcupine. Zookeeper Drew over here is trying to get her to come out and say hi to us. Now, she's down in her burrow, right?
Yes, so a burrow is a hole that an animal digs and uses as their home.
Wow,
Hi, Willow.
Look at there she is. What a pretty girl. Good morning, Willow.
So she is a 2-year-old African crested porcupine. And for them, 2 years old is grown up. So she's as big as she's going to be.
Wow, guys, come around this side so you can see down in her burrow. She looks really cozy in there.
So the nice thing about a burrow is that during the day, it's nice and cool and it's not as hot as it would be outside. And at night, it's usually a little bit warmer.
Yeah, I was thinking because her home in Africa, it probably gets pretty hot.
It gets hot just like it does here in Texas in the summer. So she goes underground to avoid the sun and the heat. And then at night, she comes out and she looks for food.
Wow, she is absolutely beautiful. How much does she weigh, do you think?
She weighs about 35 pounds.
35 pounds? Wow, that's bigger than some of my puppy dogs.
Yeah. And she's got a lot of quills. They're really long, so she looks bigger than she is. But I'm gonna see if she can come out and say hi to us so you can see her up on the ground. Willow. Willow, target.
She looks like she's peeking out and taking a look at Cowboy Jack. Wow, look at those beautiful quills.
And just like Franklin, those are her hair, so they grow right out of her skin. And she has 2 different types of quills. There are long, skinny ones that are just like any other hair. They're kind of like the whiskers on a cat. And then there are short, stiff quills that she uses to poke anything that's trying to hurt her. Willow.
Wow, hi Willow. Guys, look at those quills from the backside. It almost looks kind of like a peacock does, spreading its feathers and kind of showing what's up.
Exactly.
Now, she has them all spread out. Does that mean she's a little bit nervous right now?
She might be a little bit nervous, or she might just be excited.
Yeah, well, I'm
getting some
somebody new
breakfast.
we've never met before.
Exactly.
So I'll introduce myself. Hi, Willow. I'm Cowboy Jack. I like to make really cool videos for kids, and today you're going to be a star on my show. I don't think she was very impressed with me.
Well, she doesn't have internet.
We should fix that. I think we could put an antenna out here so she could catch my show.
Yeah, maybe we can use her quills.
Wow, and I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but she's crunching on that treat really loud. Get up a little bit closer so you can see. What a beautiful, majestic animal. Those quills are huge. Some of those really big ones hanging down straight. She likes to walk around and hang out just like her little buddy Franklin. And Franklin's actually going to grow to be this size, right?
Yeah, it'll take him a little bit to get that big, but he's going to be at least as big as her one day. So since her quills are hair, sometimes they fall out.
Oh, you're a
And
sweet
this
girl.
is one of her quills that fell out in her burrow.
Oh, wow, that is really cool. Now you're sniffing all around me. I bet you smell my puppy dogs.
They have a really good sense of smell. So usually, if they are interested in something, they're going to check it out with their nose because they can't see very well.
Now look at this, guys. This is one of her quills, just like Zookeeper Drew said. Now, is this one of her defensive
Yes, so those are one of the shorter, sharp ones that she uses to poke things. And they actually get even bigger than that. There are some that are longer than a pencil.
That is so cool. This one's, I mean, this seems like something you could write with, like at school or anywhere. That's really unique. And like you said, these are actually made out of hair. This is like an advanced, really strong hair that she's got. Ow, I even poked myself. Now with this, you can actually bend it. It's not really, really hard. Still a little flexible, but it is tough.
So what I've asked her to do is station. And that basically means that she is going to stand with her front feet on that big square rock and stand up really tall. And that lets people get a really good look at her quills and that crest of hair on top of her head.
Wow.
And when she's excited, the quills and the crest will stand up to make her look really big. I'm giving her little treats. She's getting some fruit like peaches. She's getting sweet potato. She's getting a few other things that she really likes, so she's having a great time.
She looks like she's having a great time.
So a lot of people think that porcupines can shoot their quills.
Yeah,
and
I've seen that on TV, like cartoons.
Right, they think that the quills go flying out and stick into things, but that's not true. The quills are just like our hair. I can't make my hair fly off my head, but if she's attacked by something like a lion or a leopard in Africa, she'll turn her back on them and make those quills stand up, and then she'll actually run backwards at that animal.
Oh, wow.
And if they don't get out of there, they're going to get poked.
Yeah, they're not going to have a very good day. But I don't think Miss Willow wants that to happen. I think she's actually really sweet.
You want to give her a treat?
Absolutely. Come here, Willow.
Willow, go,
hey, girl.
Go over there.
There you go. Boy, she does have some big front teeth. And look how she's holding it with her paws. That is so cool.
Yeah, those paws are also how she digs that big burrow we saw. She's just like a dog. She'll dig the dirt out with her front feet and then kick it back out of the hole with her back feet.
Wow. Now that I've seen her up close like this and really observed her hair and her ears and eyes, I can see why she's part of the rodent family. They have these really pretty whiskers and everything.
Hi, Willow.
You're just like a little puppy dog. Boy, what a pretty girl. And how old would you say she is?
She's about 2 years old, which is kind of like being a teenager or a young adult for a porcupine.
Okay.
They can live about as long as a dog, about 15 to 20 years. So Willow will be around for a long time. And porcupines in the wild usually live with their mate. So a male and a female will live in a burrow together, and any babies they have will live with them until they're about a year old, and then they leave home, just like human kids going to college.
That is really cool. You know what? She reminds me of somebody. Have you guys seen that movie Sing and Sing 2? She looks just like the rock star on there. That is so cool.
Now, Cowboy Jack, do you think that porcupines are able to swim?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, she's got really cool legs, and I bet those quills could help her float. I'm gonna say yes, I think they can swim.
That's right. So her quills are full of air. They're hollow, just like a straw. So that means that she floats really well. Station. And she is able to cross rivers, and sometimes porcupines just paddle around in shallow water on cool days, just
Help
like
them cool off?
Yeah, just like we'd go to the swimming pool.
That is so cool. And guys, look how concentrated those quills are at the back of her backside there. It's like almost like a paddle tail all put together. It's so cool.
Yep, her tail is pretty long, just like a beaver, and she doesn't swim with it, but if she's nervous, she'll shake her tail and rattle it, just like a rattlesnake.
Wow. So they actually use that as a defense mechanism too?
As a warning too.
And they'll warn predators?
They'll sometimes stomp their foot too, just like a skunk.
You would think by this day and age, predators would know, hey, this is a porcupine, maybe I shouldn't mess with it. But I guess some have to learn the hard way.
The problem is that every year there's new leopards and lions being born that have to learn how to hunt for themselves.
Yeah.
And they don't know what a porcupine is. So usually it's young leopards who've just left home. Their mom isn't there to tell them, get away from the porcupine, you're gonna get poked. And they're the ones that try to eat porcupines.
Okay. Well, Miss Willow, it sure was a pleasure getting to meet you. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. One day I've never hung out with a porcupine, the next day I'm right here with you hanging out. Wow, Zookeeper Drew, what are we looking at here?
These are black-tailed prairie dogs. So they are another member of the rodent family. They're actually cousins of squirrels. You can probably tell from the way she's climbing, but these guys don't live in trees. They live underground in tunnels. Hi, Billy. Good morning.
Wow. Hey guys, come over here.
Do you hear her yelling?
Hi.
So that is how prairie dogs say hello to each other. They go,
That is so cool. I've never even seen a prairie dog before, and here I am petting one.
yeah, so prairie dogs live right here in Texas. They live in flat, open plains and prairies, and they get the name prairie dog because they bark and yip like that.
That is so unique and so cool. I love it.
She's got those long claws to help her dig, just like a dog. Her ears are really tiny, so when
Oh,
she's
wow.
underground, dirt doesn't get into them.
But I've heard they have really good hearing.
They do. They have amazing hearing and eyesight, and just like other rodents, they have those big chewing teeth at the front of her mouth.
Wow. She does have some big chompers.
Yep. Oh, and I think she's gonna nip me if I don't put her back soon. I hear you, Billy.
All right, well, have fun back in your cage. Thanks for meeting us real quick.
So prairie dogs live in groups called prairie dog towns, and each prairie dog town can have hundreds or even thousands of prairie dogs living there together. No, Billy, you can't come out. Sorry. Oh, there's another one. That's Luis.
Oh, wow. Look at him creeping out of there.
And normally they're not as friendly as Billy. They're a little bit shyer because a lot of things want to eat them in the wild. So when they do come up out of their tunnels underground, they protect themselves by having lookouts. One or two of them will stand up on their back legs and look around, and if they see something dangerous like a coyote or a bobcat or a snake, they sound the alarm to let the other prairie dogs know what to look out for.
That's what I was thinking about. Here in Texas, we've got coyotes, we've got bobcats, we even have mountain lions. You know, all kinds of things probably are trying to get a snack out of these prairie dogs. So that's great that they use a buddy system and have a lookout.
Exactly. And they love eating
Billy really
grass
likes you.
and roots and other plants. Hi, yes, I see you.
That is so cool. He's a really social one. He likes you a lot.
So Billy actually used to be a pet. When she was a baby, somebody kept her as a house pet, but that was not a very good idea. Prairie dogs don't make as good of a pet as a dog or a cat does.
Yeah, they need their room to dig, right? And
They
make their
do,
tunnels.
and they need lots of company and attention. Because they live together all the time, they don't do well when they're alone. So if you have to go to school or work and you leave them alone all day, they're not very happy about that.
Oh, I get that. Like separation anxiety from a prairie dog.
Exactly. And so her owners had to find a new home for her, and she came here to the Learning Zoo, but she was still pretty lonely because she was our only prairie dog. So we were able to bring 3 others in. Luis, Thelma, and Tex all came together, and now all 4 of them live together, and they have tunnels that run around underground in here. And in those tunnels, they have different rooms, bedrooms, bathrooms, pantries. They have nurseries that they would use for babies. There are even hidden back doors so they can escape if something follows them into their tunnels to try and catch them.
That is so cool. Now, do they dig actually under this enclosure?
No, we actually have concrete under here, so they can dig about 2 feet underground, and then they have to stop. But that is plenty of room for these 4 prairie dogs.
Yeah, they look like they're having a really great time in there.
You can see this dirt is really hard and tough, just like it would be outside on the plains. But prairie dogs' nails help them dig and turn that over, and they actually help the grass grow taller and thicker because they help the dirt get turned over and plowed up, and it makes it easier for the roots to grow.
Well, and that's real important for our ecosystem because we all know what happens when the prairie grasses don't make it. The Dust Bowl. If you guys haven't read about the Dust Bowl yet, you need to take a look at it. It was really interesting.
Oh, she was eating a sweet potato. Oh, there we
Look
go.
at that. She's sitting up on her back legs and showing you how she likes to enjoy a treat.
Yep, they use their front paws just like hands to hold their food while they eat. Now, prairie dogs have a lot of animals that want to eat them, like you said, coyotes and bobcats and dogs and hawks. And so if a lookout prairie dog sees something dangerous, they let the other prairie dogs know, but they have different sounds for different predators. So if they see a coyote, they'll make one noise, and if they see a snake, they'll make another noise. So the other prairie dogs know what to look out for.
Oh, that makes perfect sense because if they see a hawk, they need to be looking out from above, but if they see a snake, they need to be looking from ground level.
And snakes can sometimes even follow them into their tunnels.
Ooh,
so they need to be really careful.
Very good situation.
So here at the Learning Zoo, we actually have a snake that lives in the same place as these prairie dogs. And she is called a bull snake. Would you like to meet her?
Absolutely.
All right.
Wow, guys. Well, this is an actual native Texan right here with us. The bull snake that Zookeeper Drew was saying is in the same climate and same area as those prairie dogs right behind us.
That's right. So this is Hufflepuff, and she is a bull snake. And bull snakes are actually one of the natural predators of prairie dogs. So they're not venomous. That means their bite doesn't kill things on its own. They have to grab their food and wrap it up. And they will go down into the burrows of prairie dogs and ground squirrels and gophers, and they'll eat them in their tunnels.
Wow.
So if she smells a prairie dog hole, she's going to go down into that hole, and she'll use that tongue to smell where the food is.
Are you trying to say hi to me?
It has 2 tips, so she can tell whether that prairie dog is down one tunnel or the other tunnel. And then when she finds them, she'll wrap them up, squeeze them, and eat them.
Well, you are absolutely beautiful.
Now, she's called a bull snake because when she feels like she's in danger, she can get really ornery, just like a big bull.
Oh, wow.
And the way they protect themselves from predators like coyotes is really cool. So they are not venomous, but they will mimic and act like a rattlesnake.
Really? How do they do that?
Well, they will flatten their head out so it looks wide and triangular, just like a rattlesnake's head.
Oh, I can kind of see that right there.
They'll also coil up in the same position that a rattlesnake does, and they shake their tail back and forth.
Okay.
And when they hiss, it sounds really deep and raspy, just like a snake's rattle. It sounds kind of like this.
Oh, wow.
And that will convince predators like bobcats or hawks that this is a dangerous rattlesnake that they need to leave alone.
That is so unique and cool. Boy, she has such a beautiful pattern.
Even her markings look kind of like a rattlesnake.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks just like a regular diamondback rattlesnake.
And her scales cover her whole body. They protect her skin when she's crawling around or going underground. And each scale has a little ridge down the middle of it called a keel. So if you pet her, she feels really bumpy and rough.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Boy, and look at her tail. I mean, she's got such a long body all the way down here. And the pattern changes as you go along. It actually gets darker back here.
That means that it's harder for an animal to see her from the air, like a hawk or an eagle, because when you look at her on the ground, you're not going to see a snake that's all one color. You're going to see a bunch of different spots and blotches and patterns, and that means that it's harder to see where she is.
Yeah, if Cowboy Jack wants to hide out in the woods, I have to wear camouflage. She's lucky. She's got it built in, right?
Exactly.
Wow. Their friend that they try to mimic, the rattlesnake, I know the timber rattlers are struggling right now, right?
A lot of snakes are.
Yeah.
Because even though they help people by catching and eating rodents like rats and mice, a lot of people are scared of snakes. They think that they're dangerous or they're mean or nasty, when really they're just like any other animal. They want to live their lives and eat some food and not be eaten by anything else. And so most snakes are very, very safe as long as you leave them alone.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the same with, bugs and all kinds of things. Just like, if you find a honeybee nest, well, honeybees are extremely important to our environment, right? And they help us get the food that we eat and everything. But when people get them in their house, they get really concerned. But the best thing to do, kind of like when you encounter a snake, would be to contact a professional and see if you can get it relocated, right?
Exactly. And if it's in your house or it's in your yard, you can see if you can have it moved. If you see a snake when you're out walking in the woods or hiking, that's that snake's home. That's where they belong.
Right, so we just pick a different path, walk around and try not to disturb them.
Exactly, you're in their home.
That's beautiful. Hufflepuff.
Her name is Hufflepuff because when she gets upset, she huffs and she puffs.
Well, Hufflepuff, it was so great to meet you. I really appreciate your time. Now, Zookeeper Drew, I see a very interesting container with some very interesting items in it.
That's right. So we have some shrimp and we have some whole fish too. And these were frozen, but we warmed them up in some hot water because we are going to be feeding one of our very special lizards.
Wait a second, is this Toothless?
Yes, you've met him before.
We have. So last time we were here, we were feeding Toothless some little baby cockroaches, and he was very small.
Yes, he was only about 2 months old the last time you were here, and now he's over a year old, and he has gotten a lot bigger.
Wow, let's go check him out. Oh, here we are, right in his enclosure.
Hi, Toothless.
Guys, that is Toothless. Wow, look at him.
So he is an Asian water monitor, and these guys are cousins of Komodo dragons. So he is still growing. He's gonna get a lot bigger than this.
How big will he get?
He'll get about 7 feet long.
Oh
so they're
my
the second
goodness.
biggest lizard in the world after Komodo dragons.
That is absolutely incredible. You know, a lizard this size, I bet that's where some of the folklore and fairy tales that we've heard of actually originated from.
That's right. So another name for this type of lizard is actually a black dragon, because he is black all over his body and he looks kind of like a dragon.
Boy, he does look like a dragon. That is so cool.
Buddy. So he's very, very friendly. Oh, and you can see he's shedding some of the skin on his back. Because he's growing, those scales are getting too small for him. So he needs to replace them with larger scales, and the old ones just fall off.
That is so cool. Boy, what a unique critter. Guys, look at his claws. He's got really big claws. I bet is that to help him climb?
That is. So in the wild, water monitors will eat almost anything they can catch. They love fish and shrimp, but they also eat bird eggs, and to find them, they'll climb up into trees. They also eat things like smaller lizards and snakes, and sometimes even rats and mice. And one of their favorite foods is turtle eggs.
Oh, wow. Guys, look how long his tail is. Boy, Toothless, you've got a really long tail. That is so cool. Boy, what an amazing animal.
Toothless. So he has really good eyesight, and that long tongue helps him smell.
He does
so
have
if he
a really
sees this
long tongue.
fish wiggling around and he's still hungry, he's probably gonna come over and try to eat it. What do you think, buddy? Are you full already? That was a pretty big breakfast for you.
He said, I might put that
Yeah,
in.
he'll save that for
He goes,
later.
can you box that up for me? I'm gonna take that one to go. Does he like to be petted?
He does. He's kind of like a cat. He doesn't come to you for attention like a dog will, but usually he's okay with you touching him, and if you have food, he's really okay with it.
Boy, that is so cool, and his skin is so rough and great.
Yeah, those scales
Love it.
protect him when he's crawling around, because he has to climb trees and chase animals through bushes, and sometimes he has to run away from danger himself.
Zookeeper Drew, it looks like he's climbing up you, and he's got
Yeah.
some pretty big claws.
Yeah, he is. When he was a baby, he would sit up on top of my head and look down off the edge of my hat, but now he's a little too big for that.
Yep,
But
there
he's
he
gonna
goes,
climb
all the way
right down my
your
leg like
side.
I'm a tree.
Boy, he's got a great personality. He likes to have a good time. I think he was playing a joke on you there.
The reason he has that long tail is so that he can swim just like a crocodile or an alligator. When he's in the water, that tail pushes him forward and he tucks his legs against his body.
Oh, wow.
And if he's ever attacked by another animal like a tiger or leopard or a dog, he can use it to defend himself by swiping it back and forth and whipping them.
Woo. Well, I wouldn't want to be on the losing end of that tail. It looks heavy.
And he's still only about half as big as he'll be one day.
That is crazy.
He
I
could get
can't-
twice this size.
Oh, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this guy. I can't wait to see him when he gets full grown. And how many years is it until they're full grown?
It takes them about 4 years.
Okay.
They
so-
grow really fast when they're little, so he grew a lot the first year, but now it's gonna slow down a little bit and he's gonna get bigger more slowly.
Okay. Well, guys, it's really cool to get to see Toothless like this, because if you remember, right over here, this picture I'm showing you is just how big he was the last time we were here, a little bit over a year ago. Wow. Wow, Zookeeper Drew, this is a completely different type of animal you've got here.
That's right, this is Elsa and she is a pony.
Elsa, kind of like on Frozen?
Exactly, because
I
she
love
has
it. Hey,
beautiful
Elsa.
white hair.
How you doing, baby? Boy, what a beautiful animal.
So Cowboy Jack, do you know what the difference is between a pony and a horse?
You know, I honestly don't.
Well, a pony is just a really small horse. So all ponies are horses, But if they're below a certain size, if their
certain number of hands?
Right, so if their shoulder is below a certain point, then they're a pony.
Wow.
So she is just a very, very small horse, but she's not a baby. She's 9 years old, and she loves treats.
I love it. Miss Elsa, you even have a little bit of color there to your hair, don't you?
Mm-hmm. So a horse's mane is hair, just like our hair, and just like us, sometimes she gets it colored a little bit.
That is so cool.
So normally her hair would be white all through her mane, but right now it's a little pink and purple because she wanted to feel special.
I get it, I get it. Hey, if you guys look at my hair, you know, I keep it all natural. Hey, wait a second. I think these guys are laughing at my hair. All right, I'll put my hat back on. Elsa, were you laughing at my hair? I don't think you were. You're such a pretty girl. That is so cool. And so unlike the reptiles that we've seen and like Toothless that we just met, she actually has hoofs and not claws,
That's right. So she has one hoof on each foot, and that's actually her toenail.
Wow.
So it grows just like our fingernails and toenails do, and horses sometimes need to have a special nail manicurist called a farrier come out and trim their hooves so they can walk around normally.
That is so cool. I didn't think about that, but it's like a toenail, it's constantly growing. So it needs to be trimmed if they're not walking on rocks and things like that. I'm sorry, girl. She's like, why'd you clap in my face? I was just making a point.
Mm-hmm. But do you see how big her eyes are?
Yeah, she does have big eyes.
She has really big eyes so she can see really well, and they're on the sides of her head instead of the front like with us. So she can see almost all the way around her body.
Oh wow, I didn't ever think about that.
Even though she's looking right at me, she can see something that's almost all the way behind her without turning her head.
Yeah. Boy, she is like all muscle. And wow, what an amazingly soft coat. Mm-hmm. You know, we've ridden a lot of horses and met a lot of horses on the show. None of them have hair just quite like this. I mean, she feels softer than some of my puppy dogs. Mm-hmm. What a beautiful animal.
So ponies are really strong for their size, and they don't eat as much as full-sized horses. I know it's hard to believe when she's gobbling up these treats, but she doesn't need as much food as a full-grown horse that somebody might ride.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, before there were cars and trucks, people used ponies to carry heavy loads for them or to pull a cart.
Wait a second, like the Pony Express?
Exactly.
I get it.
Because those ponies could run or walk for a long time without getting tired, and they didn't need as much food as a full-grown horse.
That is
so
really
they were
cool.
kind of like a Toyota Prius.
I get it, yeah. You can drive a lot further in a Toyota Prius than you can in my F-150.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm gonna run out of gas a lot sooner, just like a full-grown horse would run out of gas before the pony would.
You can probably hear her smacking at home. She has really big teeth for chewing up grass and other plants. And her lips are really soft and sensitive. She uses them just like we use our fingers, and they're covered in whiskers so she can feel what's around her face when she's eating.
I tell you what, her temperament is just fantastic. She is such a sweetheart. I love it. Elsa, thanks for hanging out with Cowboy Jack. I know you didn't plan on meeting me today, but it sure has been a good time, right? Now we're back inside the Learning Zoo building here, and zookeeper Drew's gonna show us a really unique critter. You know, they have a lot of really cool big animals, but they also have some really cool small animals.
That's
what
right.
do you have there for us?
This is Caesar, the emperor scorpion.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
So he is an awesome little animal. Scorpions are actually cousins of spiders. So they have 8 legs, just like a spider, but they also have those 2 big claws at the front of their body that they use to grab food. And he has that long tail with a stinger on the end that he uses to help him catch his food.
Now, is he considered like a crustacean or a arachnid?
He is an arachnid.
Okay.
So he has a shell, an exoskeleton, just like a lobster or a crab or a beetle or a spider. But he uses his claws to grab food, and usually he'll just squish them. He eats things like cockroaches and beetles and other small insects. So when he's walking around, he has little hairs on the front of those claws, and if they brush against something, that tells him what's around him, and he can reach out and grab that food and then squish it. But if it's a little bit too hard for him to squish, maybe it has a hard shell like a beetle, then he uses that long stinger on his tail to poke his food and pump it full of venom to help break it down.
That is so cool. Now, we have a lot of scorpions here in Texas. In fact, I've even found them in my own yard here in spring. But these guys don't look anything like the scorpions we have.
That's right, so they are from Africa. They actually live in the same place as the porcupines we met earlier.
Okay.
And they love to live underneath rocks and logs, and they usually come out at night when it's a little cooler and when their food is out and easy to find, and when they're harder for birds and lizards to see and eat.
Boy, that is so cool. I just absolutely love the way he looks. But now if you saw this kind of scorpion or the kind of regular scorpions we have here in Texas, it's just kind of like snakes. You don't want to bug them. Now, of course, if they're in your house, you can relocate them outside. But outside is where they live, and they actually do a lot of good for the environment.
That's right.
Their sting, the kind of scorpions we have here in Texas, if they sting you, it just kind of feels like a bee or a hornet sting.
It hurts, but it's not dangerous for most people.
Right.
And the same thing is true for him. Even though emperor scorpions are the biggest type of scorpion in the world,
He is a really big
their
scorpion.
venom is not that dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they have those big claws to do most of the work for them when they're hunting. Scorpions are really tough. They're survivors. They live all over the world, and they can handle some really harsh conditions. Dry, hot deserts. They can handle cold weather. They don't need to eat very often, just like a snake. And
I didn't know they could handle cold weather.
In the winter, they'll find a nice dark area underneath a rock or a log somewhere underground, and they will hibernate and wait for spring when it warms up.
Okay, that is so cool.
Now there's one other thing about scorpions that is really amazing.
What's that?
Well, their shell is made out of something that glows in a certain type of light.
What?
So I'm gonna put him in this box for a second so I have my hands free. That way he doesn't wander off and
I was gonna
get
say,
lost.
if you expect me to hold him, I'm still a little bit scared. This is my first time seeing a
I'm
scorpion.
gonna put him right there. So there's a type of light from the sun called ultraviolet or UV light.
Right, that's the same kind of sunlight and rays that we wear sunscreen to protect ourselves
Exactly, because it can give us a sunburn, but we can't see it. You can only see a sunburn that it causes.
Right.
But for birds and lizards and some other animals, they can see that light like another color in the rainbow.
Oh, wow.
And I have a special flashlight with me right here that shows UV light, and when you shine it at certain things, they glow, including scorpions.
Oh my goodness, he just turned green.
That's right. So to a bird or lizard or any other animal that can see ultraviolet light, this is what a scorpion looks like when they're out in the sunshine. They
That
glow
is
like a neon
crazy.
sign.
And so, but that's important for his survival, right? Because there's certain circumstances where that would be better camouflage for him, but there's also certain circumstances where it would make him stand out more.
Right.
Too.
So usually these guys come out at night when it's as dark as possible, because if a bird or a lizard sees that, they're going to go and eat that scorpion most of the time. And he doesn't want to be eaten, so he comes out when it's dark and there's no sunlight that can give him away, because without it, he looks black and he blends in on the ground. But with that sunlight or that UV light, he looks really, really different.
That is crazy. Even his claws, his front pinchers look a lot different. Because now that he's glowing like that, we can see those little bitty bumps he has all over it, and really kind of see those little hairs you were telling us about that he uses to sense things. That is so cool.
And all scorpions glow like this.
All of them?
Yes,
I had no idea.
Even if they've been dead for a very long time and they're fossilized like a dinosaur bone, their fossilized exoskeleton will still glow like this.
That's absolutely incredible. And I just can't believe it's like an instant transformation, and now he's back to black. Boy, that was really cool. Thank you for showing us
You're
that.
welcome.
Wow, well, Zookeeper Drew, we've had such an amazing time here at your amazing place for kids right here in the Woodlands.
Thanks, I'm glad you were able to come out today.
I absolutely love coming to the Learning Zoo, and Cowboy Caden really loves it too. Last time we were here, he had such a blast, it was hard to get him to leave. But we had so much fun learning about all these animals, and boy, you've got some really incredible new critters too. So I just want to say real quick, thanks for having us again. I really appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Cowboys and cowgirls, make sure you click subscribe to Cowboy Jack on YouTube. That way you can come with us on all of our adventures, because we go on a lot of them, just like we were here today with my buddy Zookeeper Drew. But hey, Zookeeper Drew, I have one more question for you.
Sure.
You know, at the end of the show, I always tell everybody bye, and then we do the yeehaw. Do you think I could convince you to do the yeehaw with me?
I would love to.
Awesome. All right. Well, until I see y'all next time, 1, 2, 3. Yeehaw!
Hey, come on, let's go. Let's all go to the Cowboy Jack show. Hey, come on, let's go. Let's all go to the Cowboy Jack show. Cowboy Jack, he wears a cowboy hat. He likes to count, talk about everything he knows. Hey, come on, let's go. Let's all go to the Cowboy Jack show.
Howdy, cowboys and cowgirls. I'm Cowboy Jack, and today I'm really excited. We're in Bryan, Texas, and check out where we're at. We're at the herp shop. That means they have all kinds of really cool exotic animals and reptiles and all kinds of stuff. Do you guys like looking at turtles, snakes, lizards, chinchillas, and maybe even a wallaby? They have it all right in here. Come on, let's go check it out. Wow, this is gonna be a whole lot of fun. Like I said, they have all kinds of critters in here, and they can teach you about all these animals too, because it's important. We don't just get pets, we have to care for them and love them and make sure they're healthy and happy. Wow, look at this. When you first walk in the door right here, there's a panther chameleon right there. Look at him. He is really cool. Come look at him from over here. He's showing off. Whoa, did you see that? He just stuck his tongue out. He was getting a little snack. The cool thing about chameleons is their eyes can turn in any direction, and that helps them find food and watch for prey. Here's another panther chameleon. He's really cool. And then this guy right here, he was recently just featured on the cover of a magazine. He's famous. He's got beautiful coloring, and he's a really unique animal. Wow. I don't even know where to look. So right over here, they have all these different kinds of rodents. This right here is called a dagu. Look at that. He's just hanging out, taking a little midday nap. Oh, he says, "Hey, Cowboy Jack, what's going on? You woke me up, leave me alone." And look at this guy. He's just trying to get a little stretch. It's important to stretch. That's another dagu. It's called a sandpipe, and that's a female right there. They have all kinds of different critters. All right, guys, well, like I said, they even have a wallaby here. This little guy's name is Grant, and he's playing with some keys right now. What's going on, Grant? You like those keys, buddy? He really likes his belly scratched right here. Can you stand up and say hi to everybody? So he kind of looks like a kangaroo, but wallabies are a lot smaller. He sure can hop around real fast, though. Can you show us how you can hop? Well, you don't have to. I don't want you to have to show off. You really like these keys? They're pretty cool. Oh, you give me a high five? See, look at that. He's got really big paws. Can I look at your paws? And he's got these big nails. He's just kind of sniffing me and checking me out. What's up, buddy? This is like a high five from a wallaby. I've never had a high five from a wallaby before. His name is Grant, and he lives here. Well, he actually goes home with the owner, but he comes here so you can come here and interact with him because he's a really fun guy. He's got this great soft fur, and what an amazing temperament. He's just kind of like a puppy dog. You can hang out with him. He likes to show off. He likes his keys, obviously. You like to smell, Cowboy Jack? Hey, don't bite my shirt. He's got these really big back legs. I wish he'd stretch for us so we could take a look at him. Come here, buddy. Come here. Look at that. Like a big old puppy dog. And see, he's standing on his back legs right there. You gonna smell me?
Very unique character, this Grant is. And he's got a really long tail too. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come on. There he goes. Look at him hopping. All right, guys, this is actually a baby chinchilla. Well, he's not a baby, but he's very, very young. Chinchillas have this incredibly soft fur and this really cool bushy tail. Look how bushy his tail is. I think it's fantastic, but his hair, I just can't get over how soft it is. This guy was actually born here at the shop. He's got a brother and his mom and dad. His dad is actually right here. He looks like he's taking a nap right now. He said, these young whippersnappers keep me up all night. I just love this guy. You know what's really unique about these is that they're actually from a mountain environment and they don't take a normal bath. What they call it is an ash bath. They use volcanic ash and they kind of splash around in it to keep clean. Wonder, hey, would you show us what it's like to take an ash bath? There he goes. Whoa, he's rolling all around in that volcanic ash, and that's like how they get themselves clean. He looks like he's having a good time with it. Kind of like a puppy dog playing in the mud, except it's ash. Hey buddy, you changed colors. You're all white now. Ooh, there it goes. Get that all over you. See, and that's actually how they get clean. They roll around in that. That seems different because we use soap and water, but this guy uses this ash. You feeling clean already? There you go. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your bath. Wow, guys, so we saw those young chinchillas, but this is actually a baby. He's about 2 days old, was born right here at the shop. Really teeny tiny, but he'll grow to be big and fluffy just like those others. He is really unique. I just love hanging out with him. He's so teeny tiny, he's barely even got his eyes open. I better get him back with his mama. All right, well, here we are with a bunch of different tortoises. So this guy right here, these two guys are pretty young, but these are actually the second largest tortoise family in the world. So these guys will actually grow to be, I mean, come look at this. I'm standing on this big mat. They'll grow to be almost 700 pounds and half the size of this mat. So like from me guys to you, that's huge. That's a gigantic tortoise. And like I said, these guys are just young, they're little. They're not anywhere close to full grown. They're really cool and they make fantastic pets. They live a really long time. See, I'm scratching him and he's standing up. And you're like, oh, hi, Cowboy Jack, thanks for the rub. This right here is Louise, and she's a red-footed tortoise. She is really cool, and she's actually full grown. She's not gonna get any bigger than this. She's really sweet, good old Louise. And over here we have Oliver. Oliver is another one of those other turtles, and he's pretty big. He's gonna get to be almost 250 pounds when he's full grown, so he'll be pretty big. He's already pretty big. Wow. What's up, Oliver? You having a good day, buddy? These guys right here are Russian tortoises. Well, only one of them is out right now. There's another one back here in her little cave area. But these are Russian tortoises, and they're full grown. Their names are Cheese and Crackers. Isn't that cool? They're really personable critters. Like to hang out with people. Hey, Cheese, come over here. I hear Cracker rolling around back in there. All right, well, those tortoises are really cool. I saw something very unique right here by the door. Look at this right here. These guys are incredible. And you know what's very unique about them is that they're actually, you know, the species is threatened and they're not doing so well. There's actually more of them in captivity than there are in the wild. I forget exactly what they're called, but they're from Mexico. All right, now this is the front of the shop, like where you would pay and check out and buy your items, but they actually have some really cool animals right here in the case of it, right underneath. See, as you can see, she's sunning on the rocks, and there's one more in here, but they actually think that she's down in her cave area and actually sitting on some eggs because she's gonna have some babies. Isn't that really cool? We can keep exploring and looking all around. Whoa. Now, Cowboy Jack isn't really that comfortable with spiders, but look at that really giant green bottle blue tarantula right there. She's made this really unique web. I don't understand the purpose of that web, but she's really worked hard on it. And it's a very cool spider. I don't like spiders very much. But they have a whole lot of them. Here's another one right here. Wow. What do we have in here? We're covered up in spiders. There's a curly hair tarantula, a pink toe tarantula right here. Oh my goodness. And tarantulas actually make really good pets. You just have to know how to care for them, and I don't know how to care for them. But right over here they have all these different milk frogs and mossy frogs. You have to work really hard to find them because they like to hide themselves in there. Oh, here's a milk frog right there on that back leaf. You guys see that little milk frog right there? Might be a little bit hard to see, but he's in there just hanging out on a leaf and enjoying his day. Now, if you like snakes, we've come to the right place. Right here's a ball python named Hershey, and this snake is actually already 21 years old, a ripe old age. Wow, so this is a curly-haired tarantula? That is so cool. So these make really good pets, and they actually are very calm as long as you're calm with them. So you don't want to make any sudden movements while you're holding them, and they're gonna just hang out with you and have a great time. So this is actually what they call a Goliath bird-eater tarantula, and that's the largest species of tarantula in the world. And they are just so cool. What great, amazing, majestic animals, but I'm just not gonna hold it. I don't think she wants to be held. But just for comparison's sake, I'm gonna put my hand right here. And you can see she's almost as big as my whole hand. That is crazy. Wow, and there's all kinds of different things around here. Like these frogs. Let me see if I can find them. Oh, there he is right in this back corner right here. You can see that little guy back up there. And then there's even more tree frogs. Oh, this is a dumpy white snowflake tree frog. He's sitting in that dish just kind of hanging out being a frog. He doesn't really want to be seen, but he's right there for us. Oh, are you gonna come out? I think he's just sitting up because he knows we're looking at him. Well, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Cowboy Jack. You're a dumpy white snowflake tree frog. Nice to meet you. Now this right here is amazing. I used to be fascinated by these. That is a bumblebee colored dart tree frog, like a poison dart frog. He is right there. He's really colorful, bright yellow and black. Great colors on him. Now look right here. This is incredible. I have always loved red ear slider turtles since I was a little boy. These are actually albino red ear sliders. You can see they have no pigment in their skin or their shell. And these are actually bred in captivity because they're so very rare. But they're teeny tiny little guys, real turtles, and they're absolutely albino. And if you look down here, there's a regular red ear slider right there. And he's swimming around, and see, normally they're green with that red patch on the side of their head, but those other guys are completely albino. So look right here, cowboys and cowgirls. This is my friend Basil. She's a bearded dragon. And she doesn't want to come out right now, but I just wanted to say hi to her. She likes to hang out in her log and just kind of do bearded dragon stuff. A lot of folks have bearded dragons as pets, and they make fantastic pets, but like we talked about, reptiles are not, your traditional type of pets. As long as you know how to care for them and know how to take care of them and feed them right and get them the proper environment they need, they can live a very long, happy life and be a fantastic animal and companion for you. Wow, snakes. Look at this guy right here. All right, guys, well, this is a boa constrictor, and her colors are really beautiful. This is like the natural coloration of them. And see what she's doing is she's climbing all over Cowboy Jack. I don't know where her head is right now. Right here. See? And what she does is she's a really good climber, so that's why she's wrapped around my hand. She wants to check out the camera and say hi to you guys. What's going on, kiddos? But she is really pretty, and what an amazing snake. But this is actually the same type of snake as this giant snake right here, just a different coloration. So when she gets a little bit older, she may be that size too. Wow. You're kind of squeezing my hand. Well, it's not just a clever name. They're called boa constrictors because they wrap themselves around so that they can get their food. They're really beautiful animals. All right, guys, so this is actually a 7-foot long reticulated python. She is beautiful, has this awesome yellow skin, and she's just checking out Cowboy Jack. She says, I've never met you before. Your leather vest is a little bit unique, but she is so pretty, and she actually has the potential to grow to be about 20 feet long. Isn't that crazy? I mean, she's a really big snake right now, but like we said, she's only 7 feet long. And once she gets to be 20 feet, I don't even know that I'd be able to hold her anymore. Wow, she's able to hold her neck out really far like that. This is so cool. Wow. One day I've never held a reticulated python. The next day I'm just hanging out with one, having a good time. All right, well, I'll let you back in your cage. You don't seem like you're having a great day with Cowboy Jack. What do you think, girl? Thanks for letting me hang out. This is another reticulated python, but just a normal coloration. So not gold like that other one. And this is a male. So he'll grow to be all the way as big as 15 feet. Not quite as big as that female. But wow, what a beautiful pattern and really cool colors.
Argentina, females will get around 3.5 to 4 feet long. Males can get up to 5 feet long. Black and white, blue and white mixed together make an ice. And then the addle albino, that's what she is.
Okay.
The purple albino, there's red and white, and blue and white, you mix it purple, then you make your purple albino. This is a red, this one is a baby red, this is what you normally would see. And that one right next to it is black and white. Those guys are more of a normal color.
Okay.
More easier to find. And these guys, these are great. And then they eat lots of meats. They'll eat turkey, they'll eat beef, they'll eat chicken.
Wow, so they're carnivores.
But they also eat fruits, strawberries, blueberries, watermelon. They eat mice, they'll eat bugs, they eat basically anything except for lettuce.
Okay.
That guy, his favorite thing is watermelon.
Wow. So this is another Argentine tegu, and he really likes watermelon. I wonder if he spits out the seeds like I do. Probably not. Looks like he's having a little afternoon sunbathing / nap. Sounds like what I need to do right now too. So check out this bearded dragon. He's just hanging out, kind of doing his thing. He's very active. He likes checking out my fingers, and he's just really having a great day.
So this one up here, she's partially blind.
Oh, so she's partially blind?
Because of the albinism, they can be like that. So if you see her, when I do give this to her, she'll go try to eat around it before she actually eats it.
Okay, so what are you giving her right there?
This is a frozen banana.
Ooh, looks tasty.
She's probably gonna drop it a few times. She thinks everything is food. You stay in. She thinks everything is food, so she's eating my tongs and not my fingers, because that hurts. Just give
Ooh, very feisty girl. Guys, come look right here. She is really enjoying that frozen banana right there. And just like us, it's really good to eat bananas. They're full of potassium and great vitamins for you. Wow, check out this guy. He's being really active. He's thinking, hey, everybody else is getting fed. What about me? There's a lot of them in there. Are you trying to wave at us? Hi. He said, hey, I didn't sign a waiver. Why am I on camera today? Well, you're a natural, buddy. That's why. And those guys back there are just hanging out, taking in the sights and sounds, saying, hey, Cowboy Jack, nice to finally meet you. All right, buddy, well, I'll see you later. Stay cool. You want to give me a high five? Nailed it.
Crested geckos, when they have their tails, they can use them as a limb. They're prehensile.
Oh, wow.
They're very cool animals. You will just have to kind of go with them. Don't hold them too hard. And if he jumps, I'll keep my hand up there.
Okay. Wow, so this crested gecko is really cool. And he likes to climb, so I have to make sure to give him something to climb on and support. I don't want to keep him out too long because he does have the potential to jump and I wouldn't want to let him do that. Come here, buddy. Wow, never seen a crested gecko before. He is really unique. Got these amazing little hands. Kind of looks like dog hands. But I better let him go back in his cage because he's a little bit stressed out. He's thinking, Cowboy Jack, I've had enough of you. All right, well, crested gecko, nice to meet you. Whoa, see, he jumps just like that.
This is a gargoyle gecko, so they can also use their tails.
Whoa, caught him.
He's pretty jumpy as well.
Wow.
They have the same kind of care as crested geckos, but they're a little bit more rare. They do not, you don't see these as often because they're kind of hard to breed in captivity.
Wow, look at his eyes. Those are really unique. I know you want to hang out with Cowboy Jack, but you're coming a little bit close. What a unique critter. I don't want him to
You
get
can
too
just
far.
grab her.
Wow, look at that. Can you say hi to the camera? Whoa. That is really cool. A gargoyle gecko. Whoa, quit trying to jump on me. The leather vest isn't going to work out for you too good.
You'll see her change colors a little bit, to be more red. She usually is not this white. She was just sleeping, so she couldn't care less what color she is when she's sleeping.
Wow, that is really cool. And she's way bigger than this guy. This guy just wants, he probably stays small because he's so busy jumping around.
Yeah, she's actually not. She's still a baby as well.
Wow, so is this a full-grown gopher snake?
He's a baby.
Wow, baby gopher snake.
Very, he moves a lot.
He does move a lot. Yeah, you're not getting away from me. Quit trying to squirm. Wow, you are a feisty gopher snake. Although this is the first gopher snake I've ever really held, so I don't have any point of reference. But he seems a little bit excited. I better put him back in his cage. Very nice to meet you, buddy.
They're usually not yellow. They're a brownish color. He's an albino snake type. He will get him. He's not full grown. He'll get about the size of a softball. And he is grumpy.
Wow, so this grumpy Pac-Man frog, like she said, will get to be about the size of a softball. That is so big. And they like to burrow down and wait for prey. They don't like to have to work for it. So they just kind of hang out down there. And when they get the opportunity, they'll pounce on something. But they're a really large frog. And like I said, Pac-Man frog. See, he even looks a little bit grumpy, don't you guys think?
And they do have teeth.
Oh, wow, I didn't know frogs had teeth.
Pac-Man.
All right, well, in that case, we better leave Pac-Man alone. All right, nice to meet you, Pac-Man. Wow, we've met a whole lot of different critters. This is crazy. Wow, guys, so that's a mossy frog right there, and if you can look at him, you can tell exactly why he's called a mossy frog. He kind of looks like a piece of moss, but he's actually a living, breathing thing. Wow, right up close and personal with the mossy frog. And even their eyes are camouflaged, if you can see that. You can barely even see where his eyeballs are, so he must be a really good predator.
All right, cowboys and cowgirls. Wow, we've had such a great adventure here today at Herp Shop in Bryan, Texas. We learned all about exotic pets and how to care for them and how unique all these different species are. It's been a really educational and fun time. I even got to hang out with a wallaby. That's not something I came to Bryan, Texas and expected. So if you had a good time, make sure to click subscribe to Cowboy Jack on YouTube. That way you can come with us on all of our adventures because we go on a lot of them. And until next time I see you, yeah!